The air hung heavy with mist, shrouding the ancient stone bridge in an ethereal veil. A lone figure stood on the bridge, his silhouette a stark contrast against the swirling grey. He held a leather-bound journal, its pages filled with hurried scribbles and sketches, a testament to his tireless investigation. This was Thomas, a man consumed by the enigma of Overtoun Bridge. Suddenly, a high-pitched bark pierced the silence, followed by the frantic scrambling of paws on stone. A blur of golden fur shot past Thomas, a Labrador retriever in a headlong dash towards the edge of the bridge. Instinct took over. Thomas lunged, his hand grasping for the dog's collar, but he was too late. The Labrador, with a final heart-wrenching yelp, vanished over the parapet, swallowed by the thick foliage that carpeted the ravine below. Thomas stared after the dog, his blood turning to ice. He had witnessed firsthand the terrifying phenomenon that had plagued Overtoun Bridge for decades, the inexplicable urge that drove dogs to leap to their deaths. Thomas knew this was no ordinary accident. He had dedicated years to unraveling the secrets of the bridge, poring over countless stories of canine suicides, each more baffling than the last. And now he had witnessed the horror himself. He knew he wouldn't rest until he uncovered the truth behind the Overtoun Enigma. Overtoun Bridge, nestled in the rolling hills of Dumbarton, Scotland, is a place of haunting beauty. Built in 1895, the bridge stands as a grand Victorian archway, overlooking the verdant Overtoun estate. But beneath its picturesque facade lies a dark and unsettling secret. Over the years, Overtoun Bridge has earned a chilling reputation as the dog suicide bridge. The bridge has become notorious for the inexplicable number of dogs that have leaped from its heights, often to their deaths. Estimates vary, but some claim that over 600 dogs have met their end at Overtoun, while others maintain that the number is closer to 50. Regardless of the exact figure, the sheer number of incidents is deeply unsettling. The bridge's tragic history has puzzled animal behaviorists and experts for decades. Theories abound, ranging from the plausible to the paranormal, but the truth remains elusive. Was there a logical explanation for these canine suicides? Or was there a darker, more sinister force at play? The earliest recorded incident of a dog leaping from Overtoun Bridge dates back to the 1950s. A local couple was walking their dog across the bridge when, without warning, the dog bolted and jumped over the side. This tragic event marked the beginning of a long and disturbing pattern. Over the decades that followed, countless similar stories emerged. Dogs of all breeds, temperaments and sizes were seemingly compelled to leap from the same spot on the bridge, a point about halfway across on the left-hand side. The phenomenon seemed to defy logic and explanation. Many of the dogs that survived the fall suffered horrific injuries, adding to the mystery and heartbreak surrounding the bridge. The consistency of the location and the seemingly inexplicable nature of the jumps fueled speculation and terror among locals and visitors alike. The unexplained tragedies at Overtoun Bridge inevitably gave rise to a plethora of local myths and legends. One of the most popular theories is that the bridge is haunted by the White Lady of Overtoun, the grieving spirit of the wife of John White, who built Overtoun House in the 19th century. According to local law, the White Lady has been sighted on the bridge and in the surrounding woods, often described as a mournful figure dressed in a long, flowing white gown. Some believe that her sorrow and longing are so powerful that they emanate from the bridge, unsettling animals, particularly dogs, who are more attuned to the spirit world. Another theory suggests that the bridge is situated on a thin spot, a location where the veil between the mortal world and the afterlife is particularly thin. This theory posits that dogs, with their heightened senses, are able to perceive something beyond human comprehension, something that terrifies them and compels them to jump. Drawn to the mystery of Overtoun Bridge were three individuals, each with their own unique perspective and approach to unraveling the truth. There was Thomas, the skeptical journalist, haunted by the Labrador's death he had witnessed. Armed with his notepad and camera, he aimed to debunk the myths and find a rational explanation for the tragedies. Then there was Fiona, a local historian and folklorist who had spent years collecting and studying the stories surrounding Overtoun Bridge. She believed that the answers lay hidden within the layers of history and myth that shrouded the bridge. She hoped to understand the bridge's past in order to decipher its present. And finally, there was Angus, an animal behaviorist, brought in to examine the bridge from a scientific perspective. He was convinced that there had to be a logical explanation for the dog's behavior, perhaps something in the environment or the bridge's structure that triggered a primal instinct in the animals. The trio decided to combine their efforts, hoping that their diverse perspectives would shed light on the perplexing mystery. They began by interviewing locals, gathering first-hand accounts of the incidents and listening to the whispers that had been passed down through generations. They carefully examined the bridge itself, searching for any unusual features or anomalies that might explain the dog's behavior. Angus, the behaviorist, pointed out that the bridge's parapets were relatively low for its height, and the drop to the ravine below was largely obscured by thick vegetation. This, he theorized, could create an optical illusion, making the drop appear less significant to a dog's perspective, potentially leading them to misjudge the distance and leap over the side. He also noted the abundance of mink and other small animals that inhabited the ravine below, suggesting that their scent could be carried upwards by the wind, enticing dogs to investigate. Despite their best efforts, the trio were unable to pinpoint a single definitive explanation for the canine tragedies of Overtoun Bridge. While Angus's theories provided plausible explanations for some of the incidents, they failed to account for the sheer number of jumps and the consistency of the location. The mystery of Overtoun Bridge remained unsolved, a chilling testament to the unknown forces that sometimes govern our world. Was it a combination of environmental factors and canine instincts, or was there something more ethereal at play? Were the stories of the White Lady and the thin spot merely local superstition, or did they hint at a deeper, more unsettling truth? As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the ancient stone bridge, Thomas, Fiona, and Angus stood at the spot where so many dogs had met their end. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying with it the weight of countless unanswered questions. The enigma of Overtoun Bridge endured, a haunting reminder that some mysteries are destined to remain unsolved.